My next guest doesn't get paid by the hour. You can tell that because he got a quick win this past weekend at Dirty Boxing. In his debut, Dirty Boxing 3 back on August 29th. It's Bryan Battle back here on the program. Bryan, how's it going, man?
It's going well, brother. It's good to get back in there, get back to action. It's good to be back on the show with you, brother.
Yeah, it's been a bit since we talked. So much has happened between now and then. But first, let's start with the performance. Could that fight have gone any better, man? You went in there, you took care of business, you got the first round finish.
You know, I went out there and did what I was paid to do. You know what I mean? Like I said, the promotion was great. You know, they treated me very well. It was great being in Miami for a little bit. It was just a great overall experience.
Yeah, I didn't get obviously a chance to talk to you because it kind of happened quite quickly with you getting the fight and getting this opportunity. Did you know anything about your opponent? Like, how much notice did you even get for the fight?
It was about a week,
Okay.
maybe like a day over a week. Then as I got I accepted the fight before, yeah, I knew who I was fighting, so there wasn't a whole lot of film out there on him. So, I just kind of went out there and did my thing, I didn't think too much about it.
Were the nerves any different just because, when you're in the UFC, obviously every fight sort of means something and you're moving up in your career and you're moving up in the rankings, but here you are fighting a guy. Was there any thought like, well, I hope this doesn't go bad because, obviously I got this new venture here. Were the feelings any different going into this fight than some of your UFC fights?
I kind of approach every fight the same, brother. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like, you know, no matter what the stage is, losing isn't good. You know what I mean? So, just constantly trying to go out there and look as good as I can, win as fast as possible, against whoever it may be.
Yeah, makes sense. So I got to ask, you're in Miami. How did you celebrate after the fight? And I know you're a guy who likes to party a little bit.
Well, me? No, man. Nah, I just got with some friends. We did we did a couple things, but nothing too crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. There we go. There we go. We'll leave
It
that
was
to our
cool. It was
imagination
cool.
there. Yeah, you had a
It
good
was
time though.
cool. It was a good evening. It was a good night.
Good. Well deserved. So let's go back to just, obviously we know that what happened with the UFC, you got released. Like, how did it come together with you fighting for Dirty Boxing? Did they hit you up? Did your management hit up them? Like, how quickly did this all come together? Because honestly, Bryan, like I was looking at kind of the Dirty Boxing card. I saw that because obviously it was an off week with the UFC. And I'm like, Bryan Battle's on there? Like, when did this happen? Like, it just kind of came out of nowhere. How quickly did this materialize with you joining them?
Basically, it was like once things broke with the UFC, shout out Jason House, he was hustling, looking for opportunities. I believe they approached us. I'm not even all the way sure, I
Okay,
just
no
got hit
worries.
up by
Yeah.
my agent and he was like, "Yo, you trying to fight on Dirty Boxing next Friday?" And I was like, "Let's fucking go. Let's do it." You know what I mean? Let's rock and roll, baby.
Yeah, was that something you had thought of after the UFC release was maybe going over to Dirty Boxing, or were you thinking you were going to fight MMA next?
I was thinking probably MMA next, but Dirty Boxing was a really good fit. So, it was something where as soon as he said it, I was like, "Oh yeah, no, that makes sense to me." You know what I mean? That'd be a good that'd be an easy transition for me. So, it wasn't necessarily something I was thinking about, but it made sense to me when it was offered. And like I said, I mean, shout out to all the people at Dirty Boxing. It was very well run, very organized. And I'm very happy with the experience that I had.
Let's go back a bit to the UFC thing, because again, we just sort of saw it. I just remember seeing something online that's saying the UFC's released Bryan Battle. How surprised were you? Like, again, I know missing weight is kind of the cardinal sin in MMA, and it's happened a couple times with you. But on a scale of 1 to 10, how surprised were you?
So it was. It's kind of hard to say because it's like on one hand it's like I definitely knew it was like a real possibility. Like I was like, yeah, I might have really fucked myself over. Uh, but since a couple days had gone by, I was kind of like more on like, all right, no, I guess we're okay. But then I went to the bathroom, checked my phone. I got a text from my agent. He tried to call me, I missed it, but let me know that I was released. I was like, oof. You know what I mean? I was like, ah. it's one of those things. Even if you kind of anticipate it, it always kind of smacks you in the face a little bit. So, but with all that being said, it was something where I did know it was like a very real possibility the entire time.
How would you describe what happened with the weight cut?
Yeah, no, more or less. It was just like uh, uh, since I was fighting at 85, I thought it'd be um slightly quicker. I would drop the water faster than
Mhm.
I was, and so like literally, I just made a mental note, and like 2 weeks later, made the adjustments and made it happen. So, uh, you know, not the best way to figure things out, but it's figured out. So,
Yeah.
you know, we'll be good from here on out.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate, obviously, because you had a nice record in the UFC where it had a lot of momentum, and then obviously this happens, kind of throws a wrench in things. I don't even know if you know the answer to this question, but like, how would you describe your relationship with the UFC right now? Because I guess you're just hearing things from your management. I know they're very close with the UFC as far as that relationship goes, but is it one of those things where there could be a possibility of you going back here relatively soon if you pick up some wins?
Yeah, I have no idea. I
No
have no
idea.
idea.
Okay,
You know what
no
I'm
worries.
saying? So yeah, like at this stage, it's just staying active as much as possible, making weight as much as possible, winning every fight. You know what I mean? And we'll just go from there. We'll take it one fight at a time. You know what I mean? This
Yeah.
I'll just handle the things I can control. When I handle the things I can control, things go well. You know what I'm saying? When I worry about other things and don't focus on what I control, things don't go well. So
Yeah.
uh, I'll just stay locked in on what I can do for right now.
Yeah, no, well said. And then is it safe to assume that you will be fighting at 185 going forward, or do you see a future possibly at 170 again?
Uh, for now, while I'm staying very active, 185 will be the move. But I would like to try to go to 170 again. People gonna think I'm crazy for saying that, but once again, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, not
Right
ruling
now,
it out. Yeah.
185 will be the thing, but uh, we'll see what the future holds.
Is the plan to stay with dirty boxing? Like I imagine you're a free agent, you can kind of take whatever opportunities come your way.
For the time being, we'll see what happens in 2026, but you know, um, yeah, no, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. No, no, hey, that's fine. That's why I'm asking. I'm asking the questions. Like I know you probably don't know, but you kind of said it there. Do you think you're done fighting for the year then? If you're saying 2026, do you think this is it?
No,
No.
no, no, no.
Okay, just
Definitely
wanted to
not done
clarify
fighting for
because
the
you
year.
said
Definitely.
2026, so you kind of threw me for a loop here.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you done for the year? Like, what's going on?
No, no, definitely not done for the year. I would love to do more dirty boxing fights. But I don't want to pigeonhole myself in anywhere
Yeah.
necessarily. Once again, Jason is out there hustling. You know what I'm saying, talking to different people. So, we'll see what happens. I'm really game for anything. I want to stay as active as possible. So we'll
Okay.
see what happens.
Would you be open to like a bare knuckle or karate combat, anything like that, or would you want to keep it closer to like MMA as much as you can?
Yeah, bare knuckle. I'm trying to, like I said, I'm trying to stay active. So I don't want to like fuck my hands up. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That's
Yeah, I
that's the
agree.
one thing about bare knuckle. I feel like unless you have like a quick fight, your hands get absolutely demolished.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Karate combat would be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
karate
about
combat
like
would be
what about
fine. I
like a
wouldn't be.
regional promotion though? Are you open to that? Like fighting for an LFA or something? Again, I know you're like kind of above that level at this point, but also you want to, I'm sure the big thing here is getting fights, showing the UFC you can make the weight. It's not necessarily about the wins, although you probably need to win as well too.
I'll let the people who put together fights
Figure
decide
that out.
things like
Okay,
that. You know what I'm
open
saying?
everything.
So
Yeah, just kind of seeing what's on the table there. That's kind of
yeah.
where I'm going with that. When would you like to fight again? Again, this was quick, so like, do you want something like next month, or do you want to take a little bit of time off? Because you basically have had like a camp or two for because obviously the fight didn't happen, and then you had this fight, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, I know they're trying to do another dirty boxing event in October. So,
Okay.
I mean, off the rip, that'd be something that would be really cool and I would really enjoy doing. But I'm not gonna close myself off to anything, you know what I'm saying? I wanna stay busy, I wanna fight. And so whatever that entails, I'm game for.
Yeah. And as far as opponents, have they told you anything? Maybe like on that card, do you even know who's available that you could fight? Or again, same thing, kind of just leave it up to Jason and work his magic. So
Yeah, man.
that's why you pay the
Man, if
management.
I
They got to
have,
do their job, right? So there you go.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, I'm a prize fighter. I show up, I whoop ass. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't
Yeah.
matter who it is. I'm gonna whoop their ass regardless. So, um, yeah, man. I mean, I don't even know how far they are into putting that card together and whatnot, but yeah, man. I'm sure I'll have something soon enough. You know what I'm saying? When I figure out, you guys will figure out too.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. No, no. I like the honesty there. That makes sense. What do you got planned the rest of the week other than talking to me? What else? What else you got going on?
Man, we're back. We're back in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Didn't take too much. You know, that that fight wasn't too taxing. You know what I'm saying? All the work beforehand was more taxing. So we're back to work. You know what I'm saying? Was back in training on Sunday. So uh, do some interviews and whatnot. Get in the gym as much as possible. Spend time with the kids as much as possible. Just chill out. Enjoy life.
Any
Breathe.
nice dinners after that big win, or going for a nice dinner or anything?
Nah.
Yeah. Keep it simple.
Nah, no nice dinners. Yeah, no, we're just chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like I said, this chilling. I'm happy. But I'm not like celebrating.
Yeah, I
You know
get
what I
it. No,
mean?
no, I understand. Yeah, I mean, good that you got the win, but obviously kind of a bummer that what's going on with the UFC. So we'll have to figure it out. Bryan, thanks for doing this. Really appreciate it. I know you've had a lot going on these last couple of weeks, so I appreciate you making some time. If there's anyone you want to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors, any social media you want to mention, I'll give you the last word.
No, just shout out to Dirty Boxing. Shout out to Iridium, the whole team over there. Shout out to my family and all the people that have got stuck by my side through all this. So I'm just extremely thankful. You know what I'm saying? It's been a very humbling couple of months. So I'm just thankful to be moving in the right direction now.